Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to Chit Chat with Ventura, and I have so much to talk to you about today. Our topic today is the 5 components of my glow up. Okay, because honey glue. Okay, honey glue. Okay, let's get started. So, hey guys, first of all, I just want to say sorry, not sorry, because I'm weird. Okay, I do a lot of weird stuff, I make weird noises, and I do lots of random things, and I can't stop talking with my hands. So, if you don't like it, well, just double tap through it. If you're double tapping your phone, it'll fast forward 10 seconds. So, just a little tidbit of information for you. FYI. So, anyway, wanted to talk about my glow up. I try not to get super deep, but I'm just a deep person. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to get deep, but it's probably going to go there because that's who I am. So, let's start from the beginning. I was moved out here to Nakano just abruptly, almost against my will, okay? Because God just really picked me up and moved me here, which is a different video for a different day. But that was a little over a year ago, and I was very distraught when I came here. So I would like to say that the first component of my glow up was deliverance. Okay. Now y'all know I'm saved, sanctified with the Holy Ghost. I'm not done being sanctified. God is still working on me, just so you know. I'm a work in progress, okay? Work zone ahead, speed limit slow your roll. God's still working on me. Lower your expectations. But I love the Lord. And I understand that not everything that I am and everything that I do is always a component of that's just who I am. That's just, people like that who are rude and mean and just unpleasant, and they're just like, that's who I am. Or people who are loud and obnoxious and in your face all the time, and you're like, chill, and they're like, well, that's who I am, boo boo. I fight. That's who I am. I'll yell. That's who I am. I'm loud. That's who I am. And if you don't like it, then take a seat, take a ticket, blah. Okay. So some things, that is just who you are, okay? Like me, I'm weird. I do weird stuff, okay? That's who I am. It's a quirk. But there's a difference between a quirk and an issue. So I had an issue, okay? I had an issue with rejection and fear of abandonment. So I watched this video, this Oprah Super Soul Sunday video, and it had a man on it. I can't think of his name. But anyway, he wrote a book, something about a mothership. But the point is, he talks about in the book how in life we have 2 main motivators, and it's everything you do comes from these 2 places, and that's either out of love or out of fear. And so I was living a terrified life. Especially after my mother passed away. I was living a terrified life. Everything I did was motivated by fear. I was afraid that people wouldn't like me. I was afraid that people would leave me. I was afraid that I would never get out of poverty, that I would never walk in my calling, that if I did walk in my calling, I'll fall flat on my face, that if I did put up a YouTube video, people would hate me, that I was scared that I would step on people's toes, or I was scared that if I didn't speak up, people would run over me. I was just afraid of everything, just scary. And so I was even afraid to create relationships with people and friendships with people and meet new people, because I was sure that they would leave me or hurt me. And so I was living really I was walking on eggshells around myself. Have you ever do you know what I mean? I was just fragile. Okay, so, and weak. And so we went to this revival at a local church here in Nacogdoches, and I just went in there, and I don't know what kind of day I had, but I was sick. Okay, I was sick of it. And I got on my knees. Okay, church is going off. It's just bananas in there. The Holy Ghost is just bananas. People are screaming and shouting and, you know, hollering and running, and it was crazy. And so I was like, these people are nuts. So I got down on my knees on the front pew, and I put my face in my hands, and I said, God, I am sick. I'm done. I am too through. I'm over it. I'm sick of this season. I'm sick of feeling like this. I'm sick of hating myself. I'm sick of living in fear. I'm sick of being depressed. I'm sick of crying myself to sleep. God, I'm tired. This is exhausting. Being like this is too much for me. And God was like, oh. I feel like God was like, thank God. Can he say that? It's like, finally. And so God was more than happy and willing to just help me. And so I cried out to God. I resubmitted my life to him. I remember saying, what is wrong with me? I'm a daughter of God. I am amazing. I'm a black queen. Why? Why do I look in the mirror and want to cry? Why do I hate myself? That's crazy. And so I was just like, God, I'm done. I'm too through. So God delivered me. When I say delivered, because there's some things, you know what I'm saying, that's a work in progress. Okay. And deliverance is it's a process. So this was like the key moment, right? At this moment was when I surrendered and I accepted what God was trying to do in my life. And I said, okay, God, whatever you're doing, I submit to it. So God could come inside me by his he's already inside me. That God could, by the Spirit, his Spirit inside me can like change me. And so God changed me in that moment. And I felt so light and free, and the enemy couldn't torment me in this area like he used to. And I got up and I was like, man, I feel great. You know, I feel amazing. And so I left that place feeling absolutely wonderful. And that freedom led me to it was an open door to my glow up. So I just want to say about that, a lot of times we are bound by things that we don't understand, like why we're this way or why we can't get out of something. And you know, everything's not okay. I was gonna say everything's not that simple. And it wasn't simple, but I surrendered to God. I said, God, deliver me. And because I'm his kid, he said, I got you, bro. And God freed me. When I tell you freedom, So any spiritual thing that's binding you, I declare that you be free right now in the name of Jesus. Okay, so once I was free from the spirit, from fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of failure, God freed me from that. And that's when, you know, I began to come out of my little cocoon. Also, I like to say cocoon. I don't really like butterflies, but, you know, for illustration's sake. They're just worms with wings, so don't try me. Anyway, so I began to be able to come out of my shell. So my second key component of my glow up is my circle, okay? So I've always been like super friendly, right? And when I tell you I've cycled through best friends, like I don't know what, like, you know, this is my best friend for like 8 months, and then I have another best friend, and then another one. And so I've just gone through seasons of my life in adulthood where I spend a lot of my time with someone. And so there's been different people that I've learned from and I've gleaned from and I've spent an unreasonable amount of time around. And you really are the sum of the people that you let speak into your life. And so when I moved here, I didn't have friends. And so I had left a group of friends back where I came from. And then when I moved here, you know, I lived with my brother and my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law is actually one of my best friends. She's in my circle. You know, in the midst of this, and even I moved here and I met my now best friend, who will be here for many seasons. And he has really helped walk me through becoming myself again. And so after I was delivered from fear, that's when I was able to really become myself. And in that process, it's important that I had people around me who would support that, who wouldn't abandon me in that, and who would push me towards, becoming who I really am. So that was number 2. So number 1 was deliverance. Number 2 is my circle. Number 3 key component of my glow up is becoming myself. Okay. So I spent years being someone I wasn't. Okay. I spent years being what everybody wanted me to be, being whether that was a leader, whether that was a sister, a friend, whether that was a manager or a minister, a prophet, you know what I'm saying, an altar worker, whatever people needed from me, I was that. And I was that with all my might, okay? And so I spent a lot of my life living for other people because I was afraid if I didn't, if I wasn't who they wanted me to be or needed me to be, then they wouldn't need me. And then if they don't need me, then they don't want me around. And then I'm, by myself. I'm unwanted. I'm abandoned. I'm gone. I'm rejected. And so I spent a lot of my life being who other people wanted me to be. But when I was delivered from that fear of being rejected or abandoned for being myself, I could finally begin to open up and be who I am. So I began to just get to know me and be more comfortable being me. And so that took a lot of self-reflection. And wasn't the easiest thing to do. And it started very small. And I'm still working on it, to be honest. I'm not even. So I'm still working on that. But also took people that I could be myself around. And so I'm learning to be who I am without apology. So one of the things that God has restored in me is I'm very, very talkative. Okay, now, some would say I've never gone through a season where I wasn't that talkative. But I have gone through a season where I was uncomfortable with just being, you know what I'm saying? Or I couldn't find a groove where I felt like people just accepted how much I can be. And so I tried to tone myself down a lot. And people, I just want to say, people who think I'm a lot already, I have toned myself down. Y'all just don't know. I have been toning myself down for decades, okay? But it's all coming out, baby. It's coming out now. So, where I have toned myself down for many, many years, people are like, Ventura, you're doing a lot. No, I'm being myself. Myself is a lot, okay? And that's fine. That's fine with me. And if you don't like that, get some earplugs. Because, myself is a lot. And in reasonable fashion. Some things, but I'm saying that because, and I'm not trying to contradict what I said earlier. I'm saying that because me being myself, being a lot to handle, I hid that part of myself for so long because I was sure that if I was all of who I am, nobody would love me. And that's toxic. That's crazy. That's crazy. And so I am learning. Also learning balance. So anyway, deliverance, my circle, and becoming myself. I cannot become myself without self-reflection, without self-forgiveness, and without self-love, okay? So first you have to reflect to find out who you are, and then you have to forgive because there are some things that you were or that you are that aren't that great, and you have to go, okay, I forgive myself for acting crazy, for saying that, for doing that, and then you can love yourself for real. You cannot love somebody who you're not. Matthew Stevenson always says, God cannot anoint who you pretend to be. And so I've had to be stripped. So anyway, I love me. I'm amazing. So the fourth component in my glow up is confidence. People are like, what are you doing different? You've been looking great. You're posting all these photos. Like, what is it that you're doing? I actually like myself. Okay? Sorry, not sorry. I like who I am. I love who I am. I can look in the mirror and be like, oh, Ventura, you're amazing. And I really actually believe it. I'm not pumping myself up. I really think I'm wonderful. And which is a lot for me because I haven't always thought that. I have always thought I was crazy and just too much. But I have learned to embrace who I really am and to walk with my head high. And so I'm still learning that and to spread that to all aspects of my life. Like, I'm really not comfortable doing that when it comes to ministry. I'm like, okay, I need to tone it down. I need to, so I'm working in that area. But I'm learning to just be confident in me and love me and be like, okay, like, here I am. And here's what I have to offer. And I believe it will help somebody. So the fifth component in my glow up. So we did deliverance, my circle, becoming myself, confidence, and number 5 is positivity. You cannot glow in the dark. Okay, sorry. I did not plan for it to go there. So, I mean, you do have tubes that glow in the dark. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the call of God in our lives, right? So we want to be like, oh, that one glowing thing in the darkness. And God's like, okay, stop that. And so I have learned that positivity is key. And when it comes to, listen, catch it. When it comes to killing the negativity in your life, stop starting with other people. So we want to say, I'm cutting out everything negative. Don't talk to me, Amber, you negative. Every time I talk to you, you got something to say. Don't talk to me, Aunt Brenda. You always got something to say. You're so toxic. Okay, boo-boo, everywhere you go, there you are. So I had to teach myself to stop talking crazy to myself. So when it comes to living a more positive life, I have to manage my thoughts first. Because if I'm thinking negative, then negativity is going to come to me. Not because no weird universe stuff, but because of logic. The Bible says you reap what you sow. So if I'm sowing negativity, that's all I'm going to reap. So I'll say that to say, when it came to being delivered from abandonment and fear and rejection, I had to stop telling myself bad things about myself. I had to stop saying, okay, Ventura, they don't want you because you're fat. Like, they don't like you because you're loud or you're too much. You need to tone it down. You're doing a lot, ma'am. You're too sensitive. Stop being dramatic. Why do you cry about everything? Why do you look like that? You need to stop eating that. You need to sit down somewhere. Why are you wearing this? This does not look good on you. What are you doing? Why does your hair look like that? You need to comb your hair. You need to stop spending money on that. You need to stop doing this. Stop doing this. Stop. And I had talked myself into believing that I was worth nothing. I'm trying to tell y'all something right now. We are blaming other people for the negativity in our lives when all we do all day is talk crazy to ourselves in our head and think, oh, wow. So if someone would reject me or someone would say something to me, I'm the queen of just, them. They must be right. Not only that, someone could say something, oh man, just simple. Like, simple. Excuse me. Like I would say, hey, do you want to hang out? And my best friend would be like, oh no, I want to go home. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's sick of me. They don't want to be around me. They don't love me. They're sick of me. I'm doing too much. I'm smothering them. I'm you know what I'm saying? No one wants to be around someone like that. And then I'll be like, oh, Ventura, stop being dramatic. You're being sensitive. You're too sensitive. You need to calm down. And I'm like, okay, I have just made 10 judgments about myself based on nothing. Okay, based on nothing. You know, and y'all can sit up here act like I'm crazy if you want to, but I know this happens to other people. Like, I'm not the only person. And so when it comes to getting rid of negativity, I didn't start cutting people off. I didn't start blocking people on Facebook. I didn't start, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I need to stop hanging around this person. They're just so negative. I started with me. And so now I am still working on this. It's a work every single day. But I try, what I do is I talk to myself nice. Talk to me nice. And so I try to think, okay, like if I had a friend and I needed to tell them something, like how would I speak to them? How would I encourage them? I would say, girl, you look good in that. Oh, look at you. Oh, you better do you, boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? We will get on Facebook and hype up our homegirl and then look in the mirror and go, wow, you really have so much work to do. You need to fix this here. You need more concealer there. You need to suck that gut in. And I'm not saying don't work on yourself, but what I'm saying is stop talking crazy to yourself. You're amazing. Just how you are. And you're worthy just how you are. And so I've had to stop telling myself I'm worthless and really believe in the Bible. I'm running out of time, but I want to tell this story. So I have never, and I mentioned this before, I've never had a boyfriend. I've never been on a date. I've never like had a man just be like, hey, I want you, I like you, you're amazing, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not something that's really happened to me before. And so I would tell, you know, I was talking to one of my friends and I'm like, listen, I believe God. And I know, which this is how I felt weeks ago. So like a few months ago, really. So kind of detached telling the story, but I would see, you know, I really want to believe God. I want to believe that I'm gonna find the love of my life and someone's gonna come and they're gonna love me for all that I am, and I'm gonna, you know, be that person that's in love and flourishing and blossoming and, you know, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna be that one day, but it's really hard to believe it when I have no evidence. All I've seen is rejection. All I've seen is abandonment. All I've seen is failed marriages. All I've ever seen, when I look in the mirror, all I see is someone who's unwanted, unworthy, and all I have. God, how do you want me to believe this? What you're saying is, I know the truth, but I also know my experience. So how do I reconcile your truth with my experience? And the Lord had to let me know, if I continue to speak over myself that I'm unwanted, that I'm unworthy, that no one's ever going to love me, then that's all I'm going to believe. And so it was hard for me to believe that I would find love, that I would be happy one day, and I wouldn't cry myself to sleep every night, and I wouldn't, you know, think about, oh, my life would be so much better if my mom was here every 30 seconds. It was hard for me to believe my life would be different than that, because that's all I cycled through my head. And so I've had to clean up my thoughts and go, okay, if I stop rehearsing rejection, I'll stop experiencing it. And so that's what I wanted to say. These are the 5 components of my glow up, y'all. I done glue up. Look at me. I'm cute. Oh, I'm cute. I'm popping. Yes. Look at this hair, y'all. I ain't never had this much hair since I was like anyway, sorry, I'm on a tangent. So the 5 key components of my glow up was 1, deliverance. Get delivered. Number 2 was my circle. I had quality people around me that I prayed for and that prayed for me. Number 3 was becoming myself. So I had to tear away the fearful girl that I have become and really become the confident woman that I am. And number 4, confidence. Once I became myself, I learned to be confident in myself, and I learned to love who I am and to walk with my head held high. And number 5 key component of my glow up was positivity. I am positively, absolutely amazing. And I tell myself that every day. So, I thank you guys for coming to Chit Chat with Ventura. I'm so glad you came to talk to me today. I really hope I helped you. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful or not. Or if it was just, you know, a bunch of hoopla. What else? That's it. I'm so glad you came. I love you. Much love, and don't forget, you're amazing, you're wonderful, and you're worthy. Have an awesome week.